What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. Today we got my man Brendan coming on to talk all things fitness, troopers, and maybe even a little bit of hockey. We were talking offline about the Stanley Cup. So, my man, thanks for coming on and taking the time to share your experience, your journey, and give some other people some inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. Not a problem. Happy to be here and help out if I can.
Right on. So, let's take the clock back. 2023. It's December, maybe November is maybe when you initially scheduled the call. But what was going on from a health and fitness side of things for you when you reached out and when we connected, and ultimately what inspired you to reach out and ultimately join Fit Nerd Academy?
Yeah, so around that time I had gotten pretty out of shape, I'd say. Over the past couple of years leading into that, I had been starting to work on it a little bit on my own. I kept kind of seeing little YouTube videos or like on Facebook, whatever clips, of the Trooper transmission, and decided to look into it and see what it was all about. And it was really the idea of the community around it that I thought was kind of the main selling point for me, right? Kind of get in there and kind of help with the accountability, right? Join the challenges and those kinds of things, kind of help push you. And I've been struggling a little bit with my diet, and what exercises I should do, what's the best for beginners or whatever it may be. So, seeing those videos, that's what kind of led me to reach out and kind of see what the program was really all about.
Yeah, totally. And so you initially then would have seen like the workout challenges, like the
Yeah.
501st or different things on YouTube.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're seeing those.
did you try any of them?
No, I hadn't tried any of them. Like I said, I kind of kept seeing the ads for them and popping up, and then I kind of just like what let one play for like a minute or two, and that's what kind of got me to, maybe I should reach out and see what this whole program is about.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That makes sense. And so as you were doing a little bit more research or scheduling, or even, once we started talking, were there any concerns that you had or any, I guess, questions going into it that you were concerned about, or what were your kind of thoughts initially right before you decided to be like, all right, cool, like I'm gonna do this?
No concerns, I wouldn't say. A lot of questions because I hadn't really, I'd never really looked into anything like that before, right? Like having a trainer or getting on an actual program. And I've gone to the gym, by myself with some friends here and there, whatever it may be. But I was, kind of blank slate, right? Like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was going to learn, what I was walking into, really. So it's just kind of open mind, like I said, reaching out, trying to figure out where to begin, how to start the fitness journey, as you call it.
Yeah, totally.
So,
So as you got started then, was there anything that seemed like a big shift from what a current belief was? Like maybe you thought a certain type of food was bad, or maybe you're like, whoa, we're doing this, type of exercise, or a lot of people are surprised with how much rest we're doing. Like, is there anything that right away you noticed as maybe a paradigm shift, either from a tactical standpoint, a strategy standpoint, or like a mental standpoint?
um, yeah, I guess with the diet a little bit, I guess I never really thought about how much everything affects everything, right? So from, your skin breaking out to having dandruff when, if you've got too much dairy affecting you this way or that way. So the diet, that was definitely a big thing for me, a big learning point, I guess I would say. Uh, it was always kind of the most difficult thing for me. I love my snacks. I love to eat my potato chips and stuff like that. So learning more about the way different foods, fats, proteins, and all that stuff affect you. That was probably the biggest thing for me, and it's probably been the biggest, I think, help for me as far as my journey's gone so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And Journey's been super fun to watch you on, whether it's, from a strength standpoint or to your point, cleaning up specific foods and how it impacts holistic health, weight loss. Like what would you say the biggest shift is in terms of like how you feel and then what that's led to maybe from like a measurable standpoint?
I definitely feel a lot better, um, mentally and physically. I would say I think I've been sleeping a lot better. as my diet's cleaned up and, with more exercise and the weight loss. So I think overall it's been a pretty big shift in how I feel and um, just kind of how I operate on day to day now, right? I have a lot more energy throughout the day. Don't feel too sluggish or anything like that. So it's been a lot easier to get my workouts and stuff like that. Whereas before, sometimes it was a drag, right? Especially in the beginning, before the diet really took hold and sleep started to improve. Some nights, after work, do my workout, it'd be rough, and I'd be trying to force myself through it. Whereas now it's like, all right, time to go. Got to get to the gym, get it done. Boom, just go and do it. It's been a pretty big shift as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. What would you say maybe the biggest mindset shift you've made is then? Because obviously, if you have more energy, you'll want to go, but it almost sounds like you kind of just look at it as something you got to do. Like, all right, I got to take the trash out. Let's go do it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just not looking at it as a negative thing, right? I think sometimes, especially when you get kind of overweight or out of shape, you can look at working out as kind of being a drag and being this thing you're forced to do, whereas it's something you should want to do, right? So I've just tried to think of it that way, try to just stay positive with it. And I think the community with it helps a lot too, right? You hop on and you see other people posting, they had a rough week, right? The kids were sick, they missed some workouts, or work's been crazy, right? So you see kind of you're not the only person going through that. So it's a lot easier to just fall in that mindset, be like, oh, it was a bad day, move on. We'll go tomorrow. We'll do this, we'll do that. Um, so I think just kind of the positivity around that is just kind of infectious a little bit, right? So it just makes it a lot easier for you to be positive and just be like, no, it's my it's my day to do. I got my upper vertical today or whatever it is. Like that's just what today is. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I love that you said that too, and just seeing that other people struggle or have challenges because it's so easy to go on social media and see everyone who's never struggling or
Mhm.
always hits the gym. And I'll try and be the first to tell you, like, there's days I miss the gym, and it's
Yeah.
nice to see other people being real, but then also at the same time encouraging each other, just like, hey, let's get back on the path. Right? You fall down, get back up. You take a hit in hockey, you get back on your skates to use a
Yeah.
hockey metaphor for you. Um, so for you then, if you had like a younger brother or maybe even yourself a year ago, what would you say are three keys to success? Where if you do these things, that's like the 80/20, like the thing that will get you 80% of the result with 20% of the effort. What are
Mhm.
those things for you?
Yeah. I think that staying positive, like I said, there is the biggest thing, right? Just that's what's going to help you keep the consistency, right? Realizing that, yeah, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have great days. Weight might fluctuate a little bit before you kind of get into that rhythm, but everybody's going through it. It is what it is. You just got to keep moving, move on the next day. So I think just staying positive and not getting too much into your own head is kind of the biggest thing. And then also just not being afraid to reach out, right? I think sometimes if you get to a point where you're like, I'm at the heaviest I've ever been, or I've never been so out of shape, it becomes daunting. You don't want to ask for help, right? Even doing something like this and reaching out for a personal trainer, you don't want to do it because you feel kind of embarrassed or whatever it is. But just not being afraid to reach out and just try something new, right? Maybe it doesn't work, and maybe you move on and you try a different program, or these workouts aren't doing it, or this diet's not doing it. We'll try this. We'll try that. Right? Just not being afraid to make those changes. Those are probably the two biggest things. And I guess the third thing really just kind of sticking with it, right? Like I said, with the consistency, just you just got to stick with it. You just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah, I love that. And it's interesting too that you mentioned maybe it doesn't work. And that's always someone's biggest fear is what if I put in effort and it doesn't work? And I totally get that because you could be like, I want to go talk to this girl at the bar, but what if she says no? And obviously that sucks. And you kind of look at it training wise or whatnot,
Yeah.
but it's like at least you know what not to do.
Yeah.
And I think in my life and other people I'm sure can relate to this, you almost learn the right path by drawing a silhouette and making like a ton of failures around the right answer. It'd be like a multiple choice answering A, B, C, and D, being like, nope, those are all wrong. And it's like, all right, finally know that E is the right answer. And
Yeah.
maybe you land on it the first time. Maybe it takes you four times, but I just love that you just kind of had a perspective of, all right, try again and just staying positive the entire time. I think that's been a big contributor to your success and just like your mindset being super solid there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree. And obviously, you learn through failure, right? You're not always going to get everything right first try. You know what I mean? That first started, I had some trouble with the shakes. You know what I mean? The dairy in the protein shakes in the morning was messing with me. Wouldn't have known that until we did it, right? So we did it, didn't work, switched it up. Now I'm on a good program with the shakes. I have a protein shake every morning, no problem, feel great. It's just you just gotta stay open. I think is the biggest thing, especially with your fitness, because yeah, you have to be just willing to try new things, and eventually you have to try new things, right? You might hit a plateau with what you're doing now, and you got to switch it up, start doing different workouts or whatever it may be. So it's just you just got to realize that as cliche as it is, it is a journey, right? It's not just something, all right, you're gonna do it this one time and that's it. Everything's gonna be perfect. You
Yeah.
got to just push through.
Yep. Greatest teacher failure is.
Yeah,
It's a good little Yoda
Master
quote.
Yoda.
Yep, Master Yoda. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for the time and sharing your insights and wisdom and excited to see what's next for you on your journey as you keep training like a trooper, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's been quite a run so far. I'm pretty interested myself to see what's next and to keep
Awesome.
moving through.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely.